Hola todos! This will be a lesson in using the passive voice in Spanish with the past participle, la voz pasiva con el participio pasado. The past participle in English is formed for regular verbs by adding ed to the end of the verb. For example, walk turns into walked, and study turns into studied. In Spanish, you form the past participle for regular verbs by adding either ado or ido to the stem of the verb. For example, estudiar, the past participle is estudiado. Ganar, ganado. Comer, which is an ER verb, comido. Vivir, which is an IR verb, vivido. Oír, oído, and it's going to have a little accent on the I there. Leer, similarly, will have a little accent, leído. Ser is not irregular in the past participle, believe it or not. The past participle is simply sido. However, there are many irregulars in this form. Here is a list of some of the verbs that are irregular in the past participle. Let's practice. Romper, roto. Escribir, escrito. Ver, visto. Volver, vuelto. Devolver, devuelto. Morir, muerto. Abrir, abierto. Cubrir, cubierto. Poner, puesto. Hacer, hecho. Decir, dicho. Don't forget, some verbs in Spanish that are longer verbs actually have one of those irregular verbs hiding within them, sort of embedded in there. So for example, there are verbs that have the word volver hiding inside of it, like devolver. Volver is irregular in this form, so devolver also is irregular. Vuelto, devuelto. Same thing for verbs like cubrir, poner, decir, and others. The past participle has three uses. One, we use it in compound, or sometimes called the perfect tenses, when used with, in Spanish, the verb haber, meaning to have done something, to have completed the action. When you use it in this form, the past participle does not have to agree with the subject of the sentence, does not have to. So for example, María ha comido las galletas means Maria has eaten the cookies. And Maria is a woman, but I do not have to change the ending of comido to make it feminine. When I'm using it with the verb haber, I'm just going to leave the word comido alone. I'm not going to change the o. Number two, when used as an adjective, the past participle does need to agree in gender and number with the subject. So for example, the cookies are eaten. Las galletas están comidas. They're all gone. They are eaten. And number three, when I'm using it with the passive voice, the topic of this lesson, I do have to make the past participle agree with the subject. So for example, in this sentence, now the subject is the cookies. It's no longer Maria. The subject is cookies, las galletas. And I'm saying the cookies were eaten by Maria. Las galletas is feminine plural. I have to make the word comido into comidas to make it feminine plural. What is the difference between active versus passive voice? A verb is in the active voice when the subject is performing the action of the verb. So for example, the teacher instructed the students. Teacher is the subject. Teacher is performing the action. A verb is in the passive voice when the action is performed upon the subject. So for the passive sentence, the students were instructed by the teacher. The students here is the subject, and the action of the verb is being performed upon the students. That's the difference between active and passive voice. Passive voice in Spanish is always made with this pattern. We're going to use the verb ser in one of its conjugations, the past participle, which is going to agree in gender and number with the subject, plus the word por, which means by. And for that verb ser, I could put it in a variety of tenses. I could say the cookies are eaten, by Maria. The cookies were eaten. The cookies will be eaten by Maria. So I can put it in a variety of different tenses. In the rest of my examples, I'm going to use the preterite fue and fueron. The passive voice is made by using the verb ser and the past participle and por. So for example, the book was written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It says was written, so I want to put it in the preterite, fue. Only one book, singular, fue. I already know that the past participle of escribir is escrito. I want to make it match with el libro, fue escrito, and then por. If I wanted to say the books were written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, now I make books plural. I have to make the verb plural, fueron, and I have to make the past participle plural, escritos. And just one more reminder, I already said this, but one more reminder. Unlike when you're using the past participle with the verb haber, in the passive voice, you are going to make the past participle agree with the subject of the sentence. So here are my examples. Paulina has written a book. Paulina is the subject. It's a woman, but I do not have to make escrito match, not with the verb haber. But in my second sentence, the song was written by David. La canción fue escrita por David. La canción is the subject. I do want it to agree in gender and number with the past participle. So la canción, my escrito turns into escrita. Another example, mis amigas han leído los artículos. My friends have written the articles. Mis amigas is feminine plural, but I don't have to make leído match. Not with the verb haber, not in that compound sentence. But with the passive voice, the articles were published by Random House. Los artículos, I do have to make the word publicado turn into publicados. I hope this lesson has helped you.